So as the kind of most classic category, we're going to start with this first because, to be honest, as sexy as some of the racing shoes can be, the majority of miles that all runners in the world do are done in daily trainers, right? This is the bread and butter of what you should be really wearing most of the time. I'm going to do an episode talking about some of my concerns about doing too many miles in super shoes and things like that, but that's not for this time. What our thing is, again, going to be doing the best daily trainers of 2023. So who wants to go first? Who wants to throw their contender into the ring for best daily trainer?
I'll go for it. Yeah.
All right. This is a pretty easy answer for me. I'm on my third pair for this year. So I've got probably 500, 600 miles in total on the Brooks Hyperion Max. This is a shoe that when I got it, I didn't think I was going to like it at all. 8mm drop. Haven't loved a lot of Brooks shoes in the past, although that's definitely changed this year. But this is my go-to shoe. I do easy runs on it, long runs, strides, workouts. Like, there's really nothing this shoe can't do, which is why I'm on my third pair. The things I really like about it, that even though it's got like a moderate stack height, I think the stack is 34.26, if I'm not mistaken, with a drop of 8. It doesn't feel really high, and it's not soft pretty much at all. So you still get some ground feel. Got a nice rocker profile. This nice heel bevel here definitely makes it feel a little less than an 8mm drop for me. And got a nice toe spring 4-foot rocker that really gives you like a nice forward rolling feeling at easy paces. And then it really gets more noticeable the more you pick up the pace. I ran 12 miles in it this morning with some marathon pace work and some strides, and just solidified. Every time I run in it, it's like, this is the best shoe I've run in a long time in terms of just its overall applicability to any pace.
So the most important question that the listeners want to know is, if you had to make a choice between the Beacon and the Hyperion Max, which would you choose?
Well, I can't remember what episode we talked about this, but
But awkward.
I will put a caveat here. The Beacon no longer exists, so I have to choose the Hyperion Max. However, if the Beacon still existed, that would be a really hard choice. I would probably choose the Beacon because I like the way it rides. But the one thing I didn't like about the Beacon was how not durable it was. Like, I was lucky to get 175 miles on it because the outsole wore out. This is my old pair that has over 300 miles on it. And
that's pretty good.
It's still in pretty good shape. So because this exists and the Beacon doesn't, it's my top choice now.
So not worth going searching. Not worth searching through the like dark alleys of eBay to get another pair of Beacon. You'll stick with a Hyperion Max because it's available.
No, but I still do have one extra pair of Beacons.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Just holding on for memory's sake. Got it. All right.
For a rainy day. Yeah.
For a rainy day. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, David, what's your daily training shoe of the year?
Yeah, so this one's an interesting one because I feel like people that have been following us know that I have just like done a lot of miles and have really loved one shoe for 11 months of the year. And then I changed my mind. And I want to give that quick shout out because that's an honorable mention for me. The Saucony Ride 16. So I've done a lot of miles in this shoe, daily efforts. I've literally done track workouts in it as well. It's kind of like that stable neutral box that we check where there's like, it's a little bit firm. It's just power and EVA. Like I always joke, it's like kind of boring in the best way. And there's like some nice sole flaring and it's a very predictive. I don't know. It's just a consistent, predictable ride and it gets the job done. And there's nothing really overly bells and whistles about it. You know, it's just a very simple kind of daily trainer. And that was my shoe. And I thought it was going to be my shoe for almost the entire year. And then I got the Nike Vomero 17s. So the Vomeros are like one of those shoes where I almost like, I didn't know what to expect when I had gotten it, but I didn't expect to like it that much. And once I put it on, it was like kind of the simplicity that I was talking about with the Ride. I got that in this, but there was also that layer of Zoom X, and it wasn't overbearing. It did enough to give some cushioning and give a little bit more liveliness to that toe off without giving up that kind of simple, neutral daily training feel. And so it was a classic feel, hugged my foot well. The upper was comfortable. Everything about it was nice. And then they have those Zoom X sidewalls that also kind of help stabilize that a little bit, where it's like, I don't know how much it actually helps, but it does give a little bit of a centralization feel, at least proprioceptively. And, yeah, just neutral workhorse trainer. And even though it has that Zoom X, it's a little bit softer. The lugs on the bottom actually work pretty well. Those that know me know I run on a lot of things that aren't just road. So it's kind of a shoe I can take a little bit of everywhere. It doesn't feel horrible doing strides, but I wouldn't really do workouts in this one. And you could, but I think I'd rather stick to daily efforts. But for just logging miles, it gets it done. And I mean, in our world, if you get a shoe to like 100 miles, that's kind of like an accomplishment. And I've only had this shoe. I mean, when did we get this? Like early December, maybe late November?
I think it was more October. October.
Was it earlier?
Yeah, it was earlier than that.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, well, never mind. But I have about 100 miles on these,
Sweet.
you know, and that's across reviewing other shoes. And in the like last week or so leading up to CIM, I stopped testing other shoes and just ran only in my Vomeros because I didn't want to risk any injury or anything. So the Vomero has quickly become kind of like a fun daily training option, and it added some life to the steps, and I appreciated that.
So wait, which one gets your overall top daily trainer of the year?
Oh, the Vomero.
Oh,
I wasn't clear about that.
No, okay.
Yeah,
just want to
sorry,
clarify.
my bad.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah, so the Nike Vomero 17.
Got it,
yeah.
got it. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah, so it was the Saucony Ride up until we got this guy.
Got it.
And then, yeah.
Now I have to certainly agree with David, but I'm actually going to go with his original choice for mine because the Saucony Ride was just one of those shoes. David already mentioned the things that I really, really enjoyed, where it's one of the lighter trainers on the market. It's definitely stable, neutral, and did a good job of this. I actually prefer this over the Guide 16 because I found the Guide 16 that plastic piece to just be too aggressive and too like in my arch. This did perfect. So the Ride has been, and I've got well over 100 miles on my pair, and I still need to do a 100-mile review of this, and I'm going to plug you to remember to do a 100-mile review on the Vomero 17, please, because I really want to hear your full thoughts on it. But the snappiness is a shoe. We've all three of us have talked about this, but before we actually got on here, is that I've been trying to do a little bit less workouts in super shoes, and part of that's also because we haven't gotten any major new stuff at the moment, except the Alpha Fly 3, which that's ruined this.
I was going to say that's a big lie.
Yeah. So I've done a lot of workouts in this shoe, a lot of my easy runs, and it's just firm enough to be something I really like. It's not mushy, but it's also it's snappy enough that it can handle up-tempo stuff, workouts super easily, but it's also smooth enough to handle long runs if you like something just a teeny bit firmer, because the stack height has increased from prior versions, at least as the 15 did. So really nice, refined version. So this is my daily training shoe of the year. For those reasons, fit, really good, kind of everything I wanted from basically essentially a lightweight trainer that's really a daily trainer. So that's mine. Now what I want to follow up with, what is your, unless you said it already, what would be your runner-up daily trainer of the year?
Oh, well, mine would be the Saucony Ride.
Got it.
Yeah.
Andrea?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say mine would be one that we got recently, the Asics Nova Blast 4, which is actually my stable neutral choice.
Got it. Solid shoe. Very fun
Another shoe that I wasn't sure I would like. 8mm drop, huge posterior sole flare, but I love this shoe. So, and
wait, is your midsole, does it have two different colors?
It does.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
David, you also have the green. I've got the green one.
I got the green on green. The thing, it's like slimed out. Yeah.
Got it.
It's like literally just monochromed the entire shoe. So
yeah, I like the Nova Blast 4 so much. I thought about using it on my medium long run today. But stuck with my trusty Hyperion Max. But yeah, Nova Blast 4 was a nice, pleasant surprise for me at the end of the year.
Awesome.
I think it's a great choice.
So I'm actually going to have to go the opposite way of David, as I felt the same about the Nike Vomero, where it's this shoe that just kind of crept up on me. And I was like, some of the fit honestly felt a little bit off. Like it feels like almost like a tiny bit long, even though it isn't. But the more miles I got in, the more I'm like, this is just a solid daily training shoe. And so for that reason, I'm going to have to give the Vomero, which I never thought I would after years of going, what's going on with this shoe, the runner-up award. The other shoe I got to give a shout-out to is the Saucony Triumph 21, which I've got 100 miles on. And like the previous version, has done extremely well. Midsole is a little bit more bouncy. It's not always stable enough for me unless I'm really working on my strength and lower body stability. But Triumph 21, Vomero, and Vomero 17, both really solid runner-up options as daily trainer of the year. And there was some really good stuff this year. So I was really, really impressed. Anything else you two want to add to final thoughts on daily trainer of the year?
I would say I would echo your comments about the Vomero 17. While it wasn't one of my top two, the fit of the rear foot was it was the best fitting rear foot of the year. And that's kind of a weird prize to give a shoe. But just the second I put it on, I was like, this feels amazing.
It's got a good hold, yeah.
Yeah. And it just feels so like plush. You're almost like you're running in like a slipper. It was a little clunky for me, but which is why it's not one of my top ones. But I definitely liked the sidewalls and the rear foot and just the overall fit.
Yeah, the rear foot was just a teeny bit clunky, and then all of a sudden you're like, why do I keep grabbing this shoe? I still don't understand, but it's just comfortable.
It is, yeah.
I get it.